First of all, fiber. 35 grams of fiber is what we need every day. We are today at 11 to 12 grams if we are eating healthy. It is very, very, very important. Wheat bran, I remember as a child, we used to sieve it through a sieve, you know, our atta, so that we could knead it, because otherwise the roti color would be, you know, brownish and we would not like it as children and it won't be very soft. That was fiber. Vegetables we used to eat. And look at the papayas we have today. They are so sweet. Why? Because of the artificial things we are using to make them sweet. All of this, what is it leading to is less fiber in our diet. I'm surprised to know that even as a doctor, and I'm not ashamed of saying this, that you know, I didn't know this, but actually I also thought that isopol is for constipation. I did not know that it's a good mix of soluble and insoluble fiber both. Right? And why do we need it? Because this fiber is the food for good bacteria. If you don't have fiber, you cannot have good bacteria. So you know, you can have fruits. Yeah. Never have fruit juices. I especially do not recommend orange juice, apple juice to people, especially of H. pylori, because they're very high in sugar. Right? And also remember, fiber and processed foods are, you know, opposite. If you have processed food, there is no way you can have enough fiber. So whenever you have a pizza piece or a burger or a bread, just know that you are not getting enough fiber that day, because you have a capacity to eat. You can't eat endlessly. Everything is being compensated for something else. If you have sugar drinks, you've left out all the fiber out, and that juice is not at all useful for you. Do this test, GI map. A lot of you would know it. If you don't know it, you know, Google it. There is the first section of commensal bacteria. That is the most important section, and that section will tell you how good your diet is. And unless you balance that section, don't try and treat your gut infections. Okay. Second component is polyphenols. Right? Polyphenols is all the color you can get. So all your orange, blue. If I have to tell you guys to do one exercise to know if you are eating the right diet, is take out a pen and paper, and from your memory, remember what color foods you have eaten today. Have you completed your rainbow?
Okay.
Right? If you have eaten vegetables and fruits of 7 colors, pat your back, clap yourself, because you have fulfilled one criteria of a good diet for H. pylori out of the 3 things you need to do. And the third very, very, very important thing for H. pylori is your omega-3s. Flaxseed oils, extra virgin olive oil, okay, extremely important for you to have in good portion. Anti-inflammatory diet is what I recommend for all my H. pylori patients. Now, what do I mean by anti-inflammatory diet? Diet where you don't take inflammatory foods. You don't take gluten. You don't take milk. But I generally tell people to continue taking homemade paneer and homemade curd, because curd is a beautiful source of lactobacillus, and that's a probiotic which is known to help H. pylori. Right? Then don't take oranges or citrus foods. Sometimes you are allergic to that. Don't take peanuts. We see a lot of people allergic to peanuts. And the last food I want you to avoid as inflammatory foods, right, is eggs. Especially white of the egg. White of the egg has chemicals or stuff which a lot of us are allergic to. I have had so many patients who used to start eggs, feel so terrible, stop eggs, and just feel very, very good. So don't take me lightly. Avoid eggs for 3 weeks. Now, if you are taking sugar, if you are taking seed oils, if you are taking processed foods, no point avoiding any other food, because these are the super inflammatory foods. So this is the baseline. No sugar, no processed food, right? Nothing which comes from a packet. One very important disclaimer I have for lemon is not acidic after it enters your stomach, right? It makes your stomach alkaline. And your thing is, take a glass of lukewarm or hot water. In that, squeeze 1 or 2 lemon. Drink it sip by sip. Why? Because it will improve the pH of your stomach. It will improve the digestion. So, as I said, fiber is very important. And if you have brown rice, red rice, there is good fiber. If you have basmati rice, is a complete no. High fiber rice, and you can have it. You can have roti, gluten-free roti, so jawar roti. And I generally tell people 3:1 ratio if you can mix jawar and quinoa. That's a very, very good atta for H. pylori patients. Important thing to make sure here is, jawar atta can be very adulterated because the chakki which is used is same. Make sure where you are buying jawar atta from. First phase, I don't introduce beans for H. pylori patients. But in my second phase, after inflammatory diet has been avoided, 3 weeks, they've introduced, they know what they are, what is not suiting them. They've made sure that their fiber is good, their polyphenols are good, their omega-3s are good. Then comes the time in phase 2 after 3 weeks or 3 months to add beans, legumes in their diet. Because that's exceptionally important for healing. And what I do is, I generally make them do an apple cider vinegar test, which means you take 5 ml of apple cider vinegar in half glass of water, drink it with meals and see if you have any burning in the stomach. If you don't have burning, you don't have ulcers. Good news. So for vegetables, the recommendation is your cabbage, your sauerkrauts, it's a probiotic, and broccoli sprouts, broccoli, all these cruciferous vegetables. That's what I recommend for all my H. pylori patients. And for fruits, my recommendation is cranberries and strawberries. Of course, you can have apples and grapes for polyphenols, but not to that extent as much as you can have cranberries and strawberries and all, because high sugar content again will create a negative environment for your gut health for recovery. I would say that if your oil is not right, nothing is right. Right? Because that's a very, very important factor of creating the environment around it or creating inflammation. Okay. Bad oils, if you use, they will make your gut inflamed, and H. pylori will stay, will increase, will torture you, will trouble you. Your canola oil, your peanut oil, any seed oils, even sunflower seed oil, I would not recommend. Out. Good oils, your desi ghee for cooking, that's my number 1 go-to. Mustard oil, you can use. Extra virgin oil only on salads, not otherwise. Coconut oil, don't be scared of your lipids. It is good. Get a good quality coconut oil. If you're a South Indian, cook in that. And then please remember, where are you from? For North Indians, mustard oil, desi ghee, do it. For South Indians, coconut oil, do it. But this is where we need to limit ourselves in terms of oils. I don't restrict quantity of oil. Use as much as you want. I tell people, have good quality salt. And if you think that getting good salt is difficult, use vegetables as your salt source. That's beautiful. Vegetables already have salts in them, right? And with vegetables, if you use good spices, curcumin, black pepper, right? Sene pepper, cumin, kalonji, what we call black seed, right? All of these are anti-H. pylori. They are actually medicines to keep H. pylori in balance. And second, in vegetables, if you put these, you will realize you don't need salt actually. It will be very, very tasty. It will be very nice. You can also add stuff like oregano, like thyme, like basil, depending on your taste buds. right? You won't need salt. Let's look at who are the people who will not be able to have black peppers and senna peppers or even any masala other than a little salt, right? I find that these people are deficient in zinc and Bs. If you give them zinc carnosine, carnosine is an amino acid, because zinc acetate H. pylori people will not be able to take. They will feel more acidic. Zinc carnosine, it is healing for the gut lining, it actually restores it. You start giving that, you will see over a period of time, you will be able to eat spices. So, for me, spices are good if you have H. pylori. You are not able to handle it because of H. pylori, you have some deficiencies. With H. pylori, you will not be able to digest non-veg. When you will not be able to digest non-veg, what will happen? Undigested food, discomfort in the stomach, and more symptoms, right? So, in the beginning, I tell H. pylori patients, go to vegetarian diet, because right now, there is no chance that you can digest non-veg. Do the inflammatory food avoidance thing, start working on the other things which, I tell them. And then after 3 weeks, 4 weeks, when you think your zinc is getting better, your Bs are getting better, your acid production is happening, you are able to take great care, that's when introduce non-vegetarian food, right? It's not about the food. Non-vegetarian food will not cause any problem. It's about your body not being able to digest it. So tea, coffee, I don't tell my patients to avoid it. I have a reason for that. One, there are no scientific papers which prove that tea, coffee are extremely bad for H. pylori patients, right? Some patients will not be able to take it, and they will know it that they are not able to take it, and they should respect what their body is telling them. Otherwise, 2 cups of tea or 2 cups of coffee, or 1 cup of tea and 1 cup of coffee during the day is all right. If you are taking care of your food and other stuff, your body will not have any problems with that. I think anybody who is listening to this knows that functional medicine or health is personalized, right? Can you eat tomato? You can eat tomato. If you are feeling a burning sensation by eating tomato, avoid it for 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, introduce it again. Why? Because people who have rheumatoid arthritis, who have psoriasis and other autoimmune conditions, they are at times allergic to nightshade vegetables. Now, what are nightshade vegetables? Tomatoes, potatoes, bell peppers, brinjal. So, but everybody should avoid these in the first go? No. Try it and avoid it. Why? Because they are also a source of polyphenols for you, right? So, personalize it. Now, people ask me, if after 3 weeks I introduce and still I feel that burning sensation or discomfort or more yawning or inability to sleep or aches and pains in the body, avoid it for 3 months. Then introduce it. If you still feel the same symptoms, avoid it for 6 months. Then introduce it. And what should you do within this time? Work on improving your gut microbiome, work on managing your stress, and work on repairing your gut lining. Because we all know gut lining is like this, a single-celled, delicate line of single cell of mucosal cells. We have to heal this, because till we will heal this, all these foods will keep causing you symptoms. So you have to work on building this lining, right? And so that when you introduce, you can feel better.